Hey, it's lesson 3. Time's flying, isn't it? We're talking value proposition this week, and so I wanted to give you a brief flyby on value proposition. And I want to say at the very beginning that this is the bedrock. Okay, value prop. In fact, I brought a prop. It's the heart of everything that we do. We've got to understand that. The value proposition is the absolute most fundamental thing that we need to understand, that you need to understand about your business. So let's just talk about it. I'm not taking too much time here because Udacity lectures do great things in just explaining what a value proposition is. But I just wanted to give you and focus your direction or focus your thoughts in the direction of where I want the value proposition to go. So first, what is the value proposition? Essentially, it outlines the pains that you want to solve for a customer or the gains that your product is able to give them. Your value proposition tells me exactly what customers will value in your product offering or service offering or whatever your business is about. Why? As I mentioned before, it's the heart of the business plan. Notice on the business model canvas where it's placed. In the middle, it's exactly why. That's exactly why it's placed in the middle, is because it's the heart, it's the centerpiece. Okay? That's why we're having you work on this very, very first. Last week you created assumptions on what you think your customers will find value in. This week you're actually going to go and test it. You're going to take your canvas, you're going to take your MVP, you're going to present it to someone and say, here's the value that I think people will find in this. Is that accurate? Yes or no? And you're going to test it. And what you'll be surprised actually at the response of some customers. They might not find the value that you think they'd find in it. Or they might find a different value. And in that case, you're going to make a pivot. But this is the most important portion of your business model canvas. I cannot state that enough, emphasize that enough. So then how do you write a value proposition? It's a series of concise statements. And I emphasize concise. If you can't say it concisely, you can't say it. As you're talking with people, you just need to be able, it just needs to roll off your tongue. For instance, this group right here. They want to do a group dating app, social network to meet other singles that have shared interests in group setting to avoid awkward one-on-one internet arranged dating. I'm not a fan of the way that's worded. I think it's a little clumsy, and they could probably refine that. In fact, they did because this was their initial assumption. But you get the idea, right? It's a series of concise statements. Concise. I said series, it can be multiple, depending on what your product is and depending on who your customer segments are. But just sit down and consider what my value propositions are and go out and test them. And based on the test, you're going to either pivot or proceed. You might change and alter. And all of those things is what you're going to refine this week. And that's what you submit at the end of the week.